Welcome back to your daily basketball recap. Today, again, still a slow news day. So we're just going to go over. They kind of released a few more of the games for the schedule as far as the NBA. So we spoke about last week that the two games that were announced for the 21st of October are Rockets versus Thunder and Warriors versus Lakers. If you want to see that video, check out our channel. Go and look at everything else. They're probably two of the most fun matchups to potentially be watching to start off your NBA season. So I think it's the right call. They made the right call as far as that. Long and short of it, the first game for the Knicks of the season is on the 22nd. It's against the Cavaliers. I think that these teams were ranked 1 and 2 on the power rankings, according to ESPN. And also, as far as the NBA's John Schumann released power rankings for each conference. So they had those. They had the Cavaliers first, the Knicks second. I think actually the Knicks will end up being the better team. I mentioned, and I think it'll be an interesting game overall. But that's a fun way to start off the season, and a good matchup that you might potentially end up seeing in the playoffs. I do think the Cavaliers will again definitely make it to the playoffs. Definitely be one of the top 6 seeds. So, two formidable teams going at each other to start the year. And again, on the 22nd, you actually have a really fun one, which is the Spurs versus the Mavericks. So, you have so many storylines going on, the Texas teams, as well as who's the better first pick at a Cooper Flag and Wemby. You have so many, or at least I guess potentially this year's Rookie of the Year and the last 2 Rookie of the Years facing off. And again, also kind of very overall more complete teams. So I'm very much looking forward to this matchup. Especially because with the Mavericks, it ends up being very much a mashup of not old and new, but old and young. And new, I guess, also to the Mavericks organization as it stands. So it's going to be fun to watch. Those are very, very good, games to have as a follow-up. And then the Thursday night following that is actually the Thunder versus the Pacers. Sadly, as we all know, the Pacers are not what they were last year between losing Halliburton to injury and Miles Turner. But I still think that they're going to surprise people. I think with how well they do this season, but it's they're going to be a lot worse. So this game is not going to be too much of a serious matchup. But following that game, that following night meaning the same night on Thursday, the 23rd of October, is the Nuggets and the Warriors face off against each other. It's going to be fun. That's a very, very fun matchup. Again, a lot of history there. I'm excited to see the Nuggets. This Nuggets season opener. I'm excited about it because I think this Nuggets team is a lot better than last year's team, and I think they'll gel earlier just because of the pieces that they already have there in place with Jokic. He just keeps the ball fizzing around. It almost doesn't matter who's fitting to their system, and regardless of team chemistry, he is their team. So they just need to be able to hit open shots, and I think that they will with the personnel that they brought in. And the Warriors, I think, are just going to enter this year hungry, especially because we don't know yet if they will trade Kuminga or if they won't, or if they get him to even sign the restricted free agency offer. Maybe he'll do the same thing that they were talking about that Cam Thomas was interested in doing, which is signing the minimum, and then entering free agency and restricted free agency next year. So we'll see. It's very interesting. Friday brings Knicks Celtics, again, another one that last year's playoffs, it could be a really tight, competitive matchup, but Jason Tatum is injured. So he won't be there, but it'll still be good. And Timberwolves Lakers, which is a great matchup from last year's playoffs, which I'm very excited about. Personally, I think that Luka Doncic is going to have a huge year next year, and I think part of that is also the fact that Anthony Edwards is going to have a huge year next year. So I'm excited to see these two teams match up now, and they very well might meet each other again in the playoffs next year, and it might be a completely different, energy and environment and outcome. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward. So it's Friday. Saturday, they have yet to announce those games, but they announced for the 27th, Cavaliers Pistons, which is going to be awesome. I love this Pistons team. They're very physical. They play very hard. We'll see if Malik Beasley is on the team by that point, or if he's not coming back, or if he's coming back and going somewhere else. Who knows? But they have also, upgraded a lot of their positions, a lot of what they have, as well as the fact that some of their rookies have gotten better. Some of the young players have definitely gotten better, and they will get better. And the Cavs also, made some changes. We'll see. Like Ty Jerome was really great for them last year, so we'll see if Lonzo Ball will have the same impact. I think that he overall will. I don't think he brings as much energy, but I think he brings a certain professional basketball level to their team, and I think he is a very good player still. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully, he's also healthy during that time. And the game after that is Nuggets Timberwolves, which is always a slugfest. Those two teams really don't like each other, and they really, really have like a high competitive energy for each other. So I'm excited to see that. And then I'm actually waiting to talk about this midseason tournament that starts in the beginning of the season, because to be honest with you, I guess it is news, but there's still not really a point to this to the NBA Cup, to the Emirates NBA Cup, and I know they announced the scheduling for it whenever, and it's a good branding opportunity. I guess it's to bring more eyes into the product, but we saw both times in the past 2 years that winning that cup ultimately not only doesn't have any repercussions in the rest of the season, but it also is not a signifier for how competitive ultimately your team will be moving into the playoffs. So, there's not much else to say. I'm not even going to venture to have a guess for who will win the NBA Cup. Maybe it's the Thunder. Maybe that's the last award the Thunder need to put on their birthday cap from the last year. Right, they got to the finals of the NBA Cup last year, and they were disappointed in losing it, but then they won the championship. So maybe that's where they really feel that they have to get their as what it was SGA's comment was, you have to spin back and spin back the next day or whatever. That maybe that's how they feel about it. That's the NBA Cup is their last piece de resistance, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's not much NBA news going on. That's the truth. Hopefully, tomorrow, the day after, next week, next month, news will pick up and interesting pieces about it. We have a lot of really great content coming out, is the truth. You'll see a lot more of it. There's a Raptors video coming soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And we have a really fun trivia game coming as well. So keep it locked to our channel. Max, I want to thank you for producing. Shlomo, you're a great co-host. I appreciate you. I want to thank you guys very much for watching and listening, and I wish you all a great day. Talk to you soon.